It's great to have you on. How are you doing today? And also, where are you based?
I'm doing great. I'm in Los Angeles, and thank you for having me.
Nice, cool. So I asked some people on Twitter what they would ask you if they had you on a podcast. And so, podcast is basically going to be broken down into three sections. So one is like SEO growth questions. Number two is agency, and number three just like generic, just like things. I guess just not personal stuff, but just like what would you do if you were starting from scratch and stuff like that.
Cool.
So off we go. So first things first, if you could only pick one channel of acquisition, one channel of growth to grow your business, what would it be and why? Today, it has to be today.
B2B or B2C?
Let's do B2B. I feel like B2B is a bit more interesting.
B2B, I would do YouTube. B2C, I would do, Instagram.
Really interesting. YouTube for B2B.
Yeah, it
Wow.
does really well. The problem with LinkedIn with B2B, although LinkedIn does exceptionally well, LinkedIn's very expensive. And if I was
Mm,
starting off and I can only pick one channel, my assumption is I'm also probably strapped on budget.
yeah,
And
you're
you can get
broke.
quite a bit
Yeah.
of evergreen traffic from YouTube, which is amazing. And there's a
Mm.
lot of B2B traffic in there that people tend to forget.
What would be your strategy for YouTube? Just post a bunch of content?
I would create tons of content that help people solve the problem for whatever solution I'm pitching. So if I have a software solution that helps you get more traffic, my videos would be, how to get more traffic to your website, and I'll show them using the tool that I'm selling. Or if
Mm,
I'm offering a service, I would talk to them about what business mistakes businesses make, how to fix them, and like, oh, if you just want us to do it for you, hit us up here.
mm. Interesting. And so you said B2C, you said Instagram.
Yes.
So just reels or
Reels, social discovery is huge, and Instagram is not really having ban problems in countries, right? TikTok has issues in
mhm,
Canada, maybe issues in the United States. They have TikTok has issues in India, but Instagram doesn't have issues in most countries.
got it. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about SEO since this is an SEO channel. So you've been in the game for a long time. Number one, would you start a new content site today?
I would start a new content site. SEO
You
still
would.
works and it does stuff well.
Sick. All
I
right.
don't
Yeah,
want to
that's
start a new content site. I already have enough, but if I
yeah,
didn't have anything, I would.
you would. Okay, interesting. Where do you see this space going? What does SEO look like for you? I don't even want to say in 5 years because 5 years is so tough, but even just like in the next 2 years.
Sure, SEO has changed from search engine optimization to search everywhere optimization. If you look at Google and you do a search, there's tabs for long videos and short videos, which means they're pulling from social. If you look at search, people search on ChatGPT now. I know there's SearchGPT, but they're still searching on ChatGPT to questions for their answers, and you want ChatGPT to recommend your products and services. People are searching on Facebook, they're searching on LinkedIn, they're searching on Amazon. You need to optimize all these channels for your products and services. That's how you do the best in the long run. There's 45.1 billion searches a day on the web throughout all these platforms.
Mm,
45.1. Google takes up roughly 18%. You need to optimize for the other channels as well.
hmm.
And
And
it's already shifted that way. You don't even have to wait two
yeah,
years. It's just most
no,
businesses haven't adapted.
right.
It's like if you're Louis Vuitton and selling a purse, when someone types in purse on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, you should want your purse to show up.
Mm, yeah. Uh, do you think that Search GPT and Claude and other massive LLMs pose a real threat to Google? Do you
Based
think
on their
now's the
earnings, and no, they're still making more money. Go ask most of the elder demographic, and they're a lot of the money spenders. They
mm,
believe AI, ChatGPT, when we talk to a lot of them, is already in Google. It's not really ChatGPT. You and I know that, but a lot of people don't understand that yet.
mm.
Do I think ChatGPT's product is better than Google's AI product? Yes. Do I think Claude is better in many aspects? Yes. Do I think Google will improve over time and catch up? Yeah. It's just a
You think
patience
okay? So
game.
you think Google's going to come back? Interesting.
I'm not saying they're going to be better. I'm saying they're going to be comparable and they're going to be good enough.
Mm,
They'll
great.
catch up. They'll catch up and
Yeah.
give you 90+% of the stuff that you need. You search on Search GPT, you can't even get a lot of the basics that you need that Google has. Again,
Hmm.
It doesn't matter what you and I think. Just look at their earnings. Their earnings show that people are still searching and they're still making an arm and a leg. We all say,
Hmm.
oh, they're dying. They're making more money quarter over quarter. How is that dying?
Hmm. Yeah, it's just easy to say that SEO is dying, I guess. It's
When I
quick.
speak at conferences, if I
Yeah.
ask people how many of you guys use Facebook, in most countries, most people do not raise their hand. Almost all countries, people do not raise their hand. When I ask how many people use Instagram, majority of the room goes up. If I ask how many people use TikTok, I get more hand raises than Facebook. But yet Facebook, the last time I checked their earnings, makes more ad revenue than Instagram. Someone must be using it if they're still generating that much in ad revenue from Facebook. Just because people say one thing, it doesn't mean that's reality.
Mm, I like that. Cutting through the bullshit. I like it. What brand of SEO is working for you today? For
What
your
do you mean
agency and
brand
for
of SEO?
is there any specific type of, I don't know, are you focusing heavily on links, on content, on everything?
Oh, got it. So for a strategy perspective,
Mm,
we believe that you need to do everything really well to do well in SEO. You need to focus on links, content, on page, building your brand, being everywhere, having your website load fast. It literally is all the aspects because if you're not, the competition is, and they're going to end up beating you. Even things like updating content, huge impact on ranking signals over time. Who wants to read
mhm,
a 3-year-old article when you can read a 3-week-old article?
right. And are there any recent experiments that you've run that are looking promising for ranking in 2025? Things that you've seen maybe on your sites? Any new things you could talk about? Or
Uh, Nothing specific. We're not seeing like back in the day, we would do experiments and we would find a few things just moving the needle. Like when
Mhm.
schema FAQs first came out, right? We're not seeing any home runs by just doing one or two quick things. What we're seeing is you do really well by being consistent and doing it for a very long time.
Mhm. Interesting. Cool. I do want to talk about your agency for a bit. So there's going to be quite a few people listening to this that will be agency owners or they work at an agency. So first thing is, did you envision that your agency was going to end up becoming this big? I saw on your website you have over 1,000 employees. Is this something that you planned or something that you had? No.
Sheer luck. Right time, right
Interesting.
place, and doing it for long enough and executing fast. Not all of it's luck, but a lot of it's luck on right timing, right place.
Yeah. And what about your ethos on kind of delegating or hiring? I've had a few people tell me that the maximum amount of people they want to manage is like 6 or 7, and at that point you need to put someone in to manage above them. What are your thoughts on hiring, on delegating? How do you look at that? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to end up hiring and doing well, I'm a big believer you go look to see who's worked for your competition, who's continually gotten promoted, because that means the company found them valuable. Everyone says they're amazing, but if someone they worked for continually promoted them, that means that organization found them valuable. And if they worked for two of your competitors and they continually got promoted, that means multiple companies found them valuable, which means there's a good chance they will be valuable when they work for you.
Interesting. So go after the competitors, people. Out of curiosity, how many direct reports do you have into? I don't know if you're allowed to talk about this, but like in such a massive agency,
I
how
have
many
0
people?
direct reports.
0 direct reports.
Correct.
Interesting. So how does that work?
I'm not the
Just
CEO. The CEO has a lot of direct reports and then people underneath them, but I don't have to manage people. I suck at managing people, so I stay away from that.
well, pretty nice. Is there such a thing as too big for an agency? Like what's kind of your goal for
I don't,
not just more?
I don't think there's too big, but yeah, the goal is to try to build something that is 5, 10 times the size at least.
Well, and how about some of the biggest challenges that you faced while scaling that maybe up and coming agency owners might want to avoid or yeah.
Some of the big challenges we face while scaling, I would say the biggest thing is you just need to make sure you have really good people and account managers.
Hmm.
If you don't, you're kind of screwed. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are at doing the work. If you have terrible communication and you have the person communicating with the client just not having great skills and not likable and not great at building relationships, you're going to be screwed. And it's really hard to find amazing account managers. And that's a key to doing well in the agency world. People take that for granted. They assume that if you produce amazing results, you can maintain the client and have low churn. That's not true. You can produce the best results. For example, for CNN, we drove them extra billion page views through our efforts, literally a billion page views through our efforts in 1 year. That's a lot of traffic from SEO, right? Extra billion page views. That's a ton. Still lost a client. Why? Didn't have great relationships.
Yeah.
And the relationship cost us to not having an amazing relationship, cost us to lose it, even though we did a great job and won awards for it. And they gave the account to someone that they knew internally, one of the execs there, and we lost it from that aspect. But the point I'm getting at is doing good work is a requirement, but doing good work doesn't ensure success.
Hmm.
Maintaining and building great relationships and having great communication with your account managers and your clients really helps reduce churn.
Yeah, great nugget. What about some indispensable tools that you use for the agency? Anything you could recommend?
We use all the basic tools that all the marketers already know about, from the Google tools that are out there to, the HeyGens to translating and transcribing to the Ubersets and to the public to Ahrefs, SEM rushes. Like, we pretty much use all the tools that most
Okay, cool.
marketers already know about.
Cool. All right, so now to the kind of generic side of things. If you were to start a business today over from scratch, what would you start? If you were, let's say
None.
you were like 23
I
and
would
you're
go work
starting.
in investment banking or private equity.
Oh shit. Okay, I was not expecting that. How come? What's the
Uh, I would make more money.
interesting? So
Just
money.
black and white. And I love entrepreneurship. Get to buy a ton of businesses, grow them, flip them. I know the grass is always greener on the other side, but that's what I would do if I started all over again.
Wow. What about if you were starting your personal brand over? I guess we talked about this before.
I wouldn't
Um,
build a
you
personal brand. I
you
think you
you
don't need a
just do
personal
private
brand.
equity.
I would just build a corporate brand.
You just build a corporate brand.
Yeah,
Interesting.
corporate brands are worth way more than personal brands. Tell me a personal brand that's worth more than Coke or Nike. Christian Ronaldo has the most followers on the internet, if I'm not mistaken, or a
I think he
Kardashian, pick
does.
one or the other. They're neither of them are worth anywhere near a Coke or a Pepsi or a Google or a Apple. Does it mean that Christian Ronaldo and a Kardashian has done a bad job? No, they've done an amazing job. It just means that corporate brands are worth more. They live on, right?
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. And for your YouTube channel, how planned is everything? What's kind of the strategy there? The strategy there.
It's not too planned.
Oh, interesting.
Uh, we create content and my team just publishes it on all channels and adapts it to the ones that we need to adapt it to. But we typically publish the same piece of content on most of the channels.
Nice. Um, what do you think is the fastest way to get to 10 million in the bank today?
Not in the revenue, you're saying in the bank, right?
In the bank, yeah.
Control expenses. There's a lot of businesses that make money, but most people have a problem of spending their money. It's easier to save than it is to make it.
Hmm.
So if you can, I don't, I have the, I think it's, if you know what you're doing, it's not hard to make a good amount of money each year, but saving, if you can save, you can do well. But for some people, they may find it harder to make money. If you invest, it's not uh, hard to compound your money over time.
Nice.
But yeah, but to recap on that, if I was trying to make 10 million and have it saved, do whatever to make money that's ethical and legal, but just focus on saving it.
Saving. Yep. And running a bit, I mean, you run a bunch of businesses, but how do you kind of manage the work life? Do you have an insane work life balance? I mean,
I have a
what
good
do you,
work-life balance.
you're chilling.
Yeah, drop my kids off to school before this.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow, that's exciting.
I'll
That's good
do
to hear.
I'll do dinner with them, I'll probably go to the library with them today to replenish our books. But yeah,
got it figured out.
But I work
And
7 days a week, and they accept
interesting,
that.
yeah, nonstop. Hmm. And
Well, although they don't really accept that they're young, but you get the point. They deal with it.
yeah. What are you most excited about next? What are some new businesses that you hear about that are exciting?
What I'm excited about next is seeing where AI doesn't take us.
Mm.
Everyone's talking about AI and how it's going to change everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited about that too. But people just assume AI can do everything and it's just going to replace every aspect of humans. And I don't believe that is true. I think the balance, there's going to be somewhere in between, is going to be reality. And I'm excited to see what it doesn't do, because that just gives humans more opportunity to double down in those areas,
Hmm.
right? You could also say humans could double down on the areas of AI, and they should, but not everyone has the skill set to be really technological advance, or whatever. I'm using the wrong wording there. But not everyone is, like, I'm not the smartest person. You tell me to go build some open AI type of company, I can't. I'm going to fail miserably.